When the world chose side, Jamie and Amelia chose each other. After the press conference, everything seemed calm. After the press conference, Jamie and Amelia thought they had closed the matter. The letter was burned, and Dakota's short apology was not kept. The online world was busy as usual, a few days of uproar, tens of thousands of comments, then gradually forgotten. But they did not expect that the most dangerous thing was not the scandal, but what came after. The polarization of the public. On social networks, people began to divide into factions. Jamie's supporters: he was too clear, too sincere, too protective of his wife. Dakota's supporters: she just expressed her feelings, what's wrong? But the cruelest were those who put Amelia in the middle, scrutinized her. Is Amelia playing the victim? Is she really as innocent as everyone thinks? Is she taking advantage of the situation to get attention? Some baseless analysis, dozens of minutes-long videos, dissecting body language, in the press conference, comparing Amelia, Dakota, even creating conspiracy theories about the relationship between the three. Amelia did not actively look for any articles. But in this era, even without looking, you will find them. One evening, when Jamie was reading the script in the living room, Amelia was pouring tea in the kitchen, her phone vibrated. A friend sent a link. I know you don't like drama, but you should know this. Amelia opened the link. A video with an eye-catching title. The Real Victim? Why Dakota Deserves Better, and Why Amelia Is Too Perfect to Trust. Her chest sank. She did not watch the whole thing. Just the first few sentences were enough to hurt. Amelia sat there, appearing like a perfect wife, without a wrinkle, without a raised voice, the model of a national good wife. But sometimes, that kind of perfection is more suspicious than we think. She turned off the screen, her hands shaking. Not because she believed it, but because she didn't understand. What did I do wrong? The invisible wall. Amelia began to withdraw. From that day on, Amelia almost avoided going inside the house. Didn't go out much, didn't go shopping, even limited coffee dates with close friends. Jamie noticed right away. One night, he found her sitting in the music room, playing a repetitive melody, sad and broken. He knocked softly. Can I come in? Amelia stopped playing, turned around, tried to smile. Always. Jamie walked in, sat down next to her, his eyes gentle. You haven't left the house all day. Are you tired? No, she said, then corrected herself. Actually, yes. Tired, in the head. Jamie glanced at her phone on the table. He guessed. Did someone say something? Amelia was silent for a moment, then said in a low voice. Jamie, I don't understand. Why is it that when a woman chooses to protect her family, people say she's acting? Why is it that when I don't scream, don't bang on the table, don't make a scene, people think I'm fake? Jamie squeezed her hand gently. Because they don't know me. They only know what they see in a few minutes. But the most painful thing, she smiled faintly, is that they compare my image to others. As if women have to be weighed, to see who is more pitiful, who is more worthy. Jamie didn't answer right away. He knew, this was no longer a matter of jealousy, but a deep wound of self-esteem. Amelia, he said softly, you are not a weight for anyone to put on, nor a role for anyone to score. You are you, the person I love, and the person the children call mother. Amelia looked at him, her eyes filled with tears. But do you see, I am becoming a character in the story they wrote themselves? Jamie gritted his teeth. Yes. And that was too much. The climax, the article, analyzing Amelia's insults, was shared widely. Not stopping at the video, a few days later, a major online newspaper published the article. Amelia Warner. the perfect wife or just a protected mannequin? The article had nothing to do with the truth. All speculation, analyzing her facial expressions, the length of her silence, the way she leaned into Jamie, even the fact that she didn't say anything bad about Dakota at the press conference, and then making up a story. She's calculating. She wants to be the winner. She's quiet because she knows that whatever she says will be good for her image. Jamie read it in the car, as he was getting ready to go to filming. He finished reading, his hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly that his knuckles turned white. He turned the car. He didn't go to the set. He went home. Jamie makes a decision the crew doesn't expect. Jamie, where are you? The crew is waiting. The director calls. Sorry, Jamie says, his voice strangely calm. I'm not coming today. I have more important family matters. There's silence on the other end of the line. What's more important than a shooting schedule that's months away? Jamie replies curtly. The woman who sacrificed her life for me is being dragged into a war she didn't choose. And I'm not going to let her suffer alone just to get one more scene. He hangs up. Confrontation, Jamie and Amelia at the turning point of faith. When Jamie enters the house, Amelia is in the living room, her face pale. She's read the article too. Jamie, aren't you going to shoot? No. But the schedule. I don't care, he interrupted, his voice not as gentle as usual. I care about you. Amelia smiled awkwardly. I'm fine. No. Jamie moved forward, sat down opposite her, and took her hand. I'm not fine. I'm hurting, and you can't keep pretending not to see. Amelia bit her lip. Jamie, this is the price of being famous. I knew it when I chose you. I didn't want to be a burden. I'm not a burden, Jamie said firmly. I'm the only reason all this fame, this glamour, this career, makes sense. Amelia looked at him, her eyes starting to well up. So what are you going to do? Jamie took a deep breath. I won't let them use you as a tool to get views. I won't let you become a supporting character in their story. If necessary, I'll talk to them face to face. Publicly. Again. Amelia shook her head. Jamie, every time you show up, everything gets dug up. I'm so tired. Jamie fell silent. That sentence was like a mirror. He wanted to protect her, but he himself, as a famous actor, was accidentally the magnet of every storm. Another idea, instead of reacting, they tell their own story. That night, Jamie tossed and turned. He knew, reacting to every article, every video, every comment was pointless. What he needed was not a war of words. He needed a true story. The next morning, he called someone Amelia respected, a longtime journalist, known for his in-depth interviews, respectful of his subjects, and devoid of sensational headlines. I want to do an interview. Not about scandal, about marriage, about Amelia. The journalist was silent for a few seconds, then asked, Will Amelia let you tell me? Jamie said bluntly. She wouldn't say a bad word about anyone. She doesn't know how. But I want to talk about the woman everyone is misunderstanding. The unexpected interview, Jamie talks about a woman out of the light. The interview was conducted in their home, where Amelia felt safest. But the surprise was, Amelia wasn't sitting in the character chair. Jamie was the one being asked. And Amelia sat further away, on the sofa, listening, like an unwilling audience member. The journalist began. Jamie, why did you agree to do this interview? Jamie glanced at Amelia, then replied. Because silence is sometimes mistaken for weakness. But my wife is silent, because she doesn't want to hurt anyone anymore. The journalist asked. Many people say Amelia is too perfect. What do you think? Jamie chuckled. Amelia isn't perfect. She forgets where she put her keys, sometimes makes a mess in the music room, and sometimes laughs at the wrong times. He continued. But those things make her real. And the truth is worth more than all the perfect things people create online. The journalist became more serious. Some people say she played the victim in the letter scandal. What do you think? Jamie looked straight into the camera, her eyes deep and bright. A victim is someone who is dragged into a story they did not choose. If someone sends a letter with the content of recalling the past, and the media turns it into a drama, the wife, who did not want to relive it, is the one who suffers the most. He paused for a moment, then said very clearly. But Amelia did not play the victim. She chose to forgive. She chose to believe me. She chose to protect her family. And I think that is the choice of a strong person. Amelia heard this, her throat tightened. When Amelia heard this, her throat tightened. The journalist asked the final question. If you could say just one sentence to the world about Amelia, what would it be? Jamie didn't have to think. Don't judge the woman who's been by my side through all those stormy years, just because you saw a few minutes of us on screen. If anyone deserves love and respect, it's her. And I'll spend my life proving it. The interview was published, and it happened. The interview aired with the headline. Jamie Dornan, my wife isn't perfect, but she's the bravest person I've ever known. No headlines, no shaming, no innuendo. Just a long, deep, honest interview. And surprise. It blew up even bigger than the letter scandal. Below are tens of thousands of comments. I used to be skeptical of Amelia, but now I find her very respectable. This is the first time I've seen a husband talk about his wife like that in the newspaper. No matter what happened before, just seeing how they chose each other after all is enough. Amelia doesn't need to speak up. The way Jamie protected her said it all. But what moved Amelia the most were the comments from other women. I was also compared to my husband's past. I was also called too gentle, too perfect, too quiet, so I was suspected. Thank you, Amelia, for daring to appear, and thank you, Jamie, for using your voice to protect a woman. That night, Amelia finally cried, but they were different tears. When the children were asleep, the house lights were dimmed, leaving only a soft yellow glow in the living room. Amelia sat on the chair, hugging her pillow, looking at the laptop screen with red eyes. Jamie walked in, taking off his glasses, and asked, "Have you read it?" "Yeah," Amelia replied softly. "Do you mind that I talk too much? You know I don't like to expose." Amelia didn't let him finish. She walked quickly to him, hugging him tightly. "Jamie," her voice choked, "thank you." He put his hand on her back, rubbing it gently. "I'm just telling the truth." "No." Amelia shook her head, looking up, "You did more than that. You stood in front of me. You took all the hits, so I wouldn't have to face it alone." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "I never thought that one day I would be the one protected like that from the whole world." Jamie kissed her forehead, his voice warm. "I told you before. If there is a storm, I will be the one to go first." A new promise, stronger than all the letters, the articles, the noise. They sat down on the chair, hand in hand. "Jamie," Amelia said, her voice softer, "I realized one thing. We cannot control the world. We cannot stop people from talking, analyzing, speculating. But we can choose to stand by each other." Jamie nodded slightly. "I cannot promise that there will not be more storms. But I promise. If there are, I will never let you be the one to face them first." Amelia smiled through her tears. "Then, from now on, every time there is a problem, you step forward?" She placed her finger on his chest. And I'll be right behind you. I won't leave you alone. Jamie chuckled, but her eyes lit up. We're a team. Yes, she replied, a team that never lets scandals dictate how they love each other. Outside, the world was still noisy. But inside that small house, the two of them had just made a new promise. Not a promise of never having trouble, but a promise. No matter what happens, you and I will still choose to stand on the same side. And that, in the end, was what made them stronger than any letter, any press conference, any judgment.